This is another tweet from you, and it's really interesting. So the question is, what do the Browns do at linebacker this year? So you take a look. Andrew Berry has spent $7.5 million in average cost of the position for 4 years. Everybody expects Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to get extended, 3 years, $30 million possible. It's a massive increase at linebacker. So you draw the line there and you say, anybody else, they're probably looking at minimum to $2.5 million. Linebacker is as you pointed out, they historically don't spend there. They're going to spend on Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And so because of that, basically everybody else has to be minimum to $2.5 million. Is that basically the way to read that?
Yeah, so what happens every time there's a former Ohio State Buckeye gets cut? My mentions on Twitter blow up with, are we going to sign him? And obviously the latest one's Brooks at linebacker. So that was basically what that tweet was related to. Because everyone's like, are we going to sign him? And it was like, well, if he wants to sign for like $2 million, yes. Is he going to sign for $2 million? No. And it's just setting that expectations, because Andrew Berry's not spent on linebacker, which is really similar to what Jim Schwartz has done in the past. It's similar to what the Eagles have done in the past, because they prefer to keep the money in the defensive line. And if you're spending more on linebacker, so say you do give JOK $10 million a year, that budget needs to be cut from somewhere else. Lots of people go, oh, you just pay JOK. And it's like, that's great. Where are you cutting? Are we taking that money away from a defensive tackle? Are we taking that money away from edge 2 and sort of the Zadarius Smith budget? It's almost moving pieces around a board. You don't just magically appear 10 million. You're having to take that out of the position room, especially when you've never really paid anything at linebacker. So it's an important thing to sort of understand when you're saying, pay this guy, well, whose money are you taking to give that to that person? So I don't expect much else. And you could easily get Taki back on a 4-year qualifying deal, so he'll get paid about 2.8, but they'll only account for like 1.4 on the salary cap. You're allowed to do it with one sort of player a year. There's one set amount of money you can sort of. It's not the same way as a signing bonus, but it's cap manipulation to help keep vets around. And then they could bring back Walker on the cheap too.